sing together hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Open, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Good morning and welcome to all who are with us here in the moment and to those who are catching us later on. I'm Austin Mitchell. My pronouns are he, him. I will be serving as the worship associate for today's service along with our newest worship associate, Wanja Walkowski, pronoun she, her. Together with Nancy Olson, Director of Congregational Life and Faith Formation, Reverend Katie Romano Griffin, our senior minister, pronoun she, ella. Liz Elsmore, our music director, pronoun she, her. And Reverend Dorian Condre, pronouns he, they. We are your worship team on the chancel today. We extend a warm and joyful welcome to people of all ages. If you have little ones with you, nursery care is available for your convenience. We invite everyone to connect with us by filling out a connection card found in the pews. You can complete the physical card and place it in the offering basket, or you can fill out a digital card by scanning the QR code located just outside the sanctuary. This is a fantastic way to let us know how we can support you. You can share any interests, comments, or questions that you may have.
Thank you, Austin. Have some announcements today. First, I want to thank all the holiday card writers: Jane Murphy, Judy Murphy, Nancy Bainey, Fern Page, Cheryl Olson, Jane Cook, Susan Vinegar, Sandy Ryberg, and Pat Fisher. Thank you. It's so wonderful to get those holiday cards in the mail. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Speaking of cards, a very different kind of card. We have some more red cards in the building. We have some in English and Spanish that Wanja's gonna pass them out if you're interested. We also have a couple of ice whistles. Austin, would you mind giving these to anybody who'd like an ice whistle? Please share these red cards. They're English and Spanish. Some folks are taping them to their dashboards. It's important to understand what your rights are and what you can do if ever you're stopped, or if someone comes into your workplace, or if you're harassed at the grocery store. And there's instructions with the ice whistles as well. Tomorrow Bookstore is one of the many local vendors who has ice whistles for free. So if you're interested in also being prepared with an alert device like an ice whistle, please do visit Tomorrow Bookstore. This is important. We need to be able to protect each other and our neighbors. So thank you. And we will continue to have red cards on site, so see me if you wanted one but didn't get one today. I also want to thank everyone who helped with Maria Sinkford's memorial service yesterday. We had 3 UUA presidents in the house. Our current UUA president, Sophia Vettencourt, Bill Sinkford, who served twice as president for the UUA, and Susan Frederick Gray. And of course, colleagues came from different parts of the country to be present, as well as we remembered Maria and the Chenefords. So Maria Cheneford Sinkford grew up in this congregation, was 3rd generation, and her family remains connected. So it was a really special service. We have extra food, so there will be food after service. Take some home. What isn't eaten, we would love to see go. And anything that isn't eaten will go to a shelter. So likely, possibly, I see. Okay, thank you. But please take food home. Please also, 10 people each week, please use the food pantry, share food. Lots of us are struggling because of food prices right now. So let's normalize using the food pantry. If you are interested in joining me in doing something in Veganuary, so I would love to create a vegan meal with a handful of people with ingredients from the food pantry, so that we also normalize working with the ingredients in our food pantry, creating something delicious, eating together, and sharing food. So come see me if you're interested in that. Next week, we will have the Holiday Bazaar after our music service. Thank you, choir. I know you're working really hard on the music service with Liz. And the Holiday Bazaar will have all different kinds of vendors, so if you want to catch up on your local holiday shopping, it's the place to be. We are preparing to launch another trip to Buenos Aires, Argentina. It is $550 to do the pre-work. That does not include flight, food, and housing. So I know some people get miles gifted to them for their flights, and I'll have all kinds of suggestions on local things, but this includes one-on-one tutoring. What we've learned on doing multiple retreats is if you really want to do an immersion, going up a level with a private tutor beforehand is preferable to 4 hours a day in class and being too tired to spend time immersed in the community. So this time we're doing tutoring ahead of time, and then we have some wonderful on-site activities planned so we can actually be immersed in Buenos Aires. You may get to have asado with some of my family members, I'm just saying. So come see me if you're interested. There'll be an informational call on December 17th. As we continue our time together, let us acknowledge the land itself and those who've sustained it throughout the generations. We are upon the unceded land of the Lenape, Miamia, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people who were pushed from their land and whose children have been stolen for generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make real reparations.
Let us give thanks for a bounty of people, for children who are our second planting. And though they grow like weeds, and the wind too soon blows them away, may they remember fondly where their roots are.
For generous friends with hearts as big as Hubbard's, and smiles as bright as blossoms.
For feisty friends, as tart as apples.
For continuous friends who, like scallions, keep reminding us that we've had them.
For crotchety friends, as sour as rhubarb and as indestructible.
For funny friends, as silly as Brussels sprouts, and serious friends, as complex as cauliflowers, and as intricate as onions.
For friends as unpretentious as cabbages, and friends like parsnips, who can be counted on to see you through the winter.
For old friends, nodding like sunflowers in the evening time, and young friends, coming on as fast as radishes.
For loving friends who wind around us like tendrils and hold us despite our blights, wilts, and witherings.
And finally, for those friends now gone, but who fed us in their times, that we might have life thereafter.
For this bounty of friends and for friendships near and far, we give thanks.
Let us give thanks and let us worship.
Good morning, and welcome to any friends who are visiting us. Good to see you here today. All right, Marley McCampbell, one of our new members, is going to light our chalice this morning. And this ritual of lighting of our chalice reminds us to continually renew our promises to live into our covenant, to put love into action, and to live out this community of love and justice that we truly aim to be. So if you would please rise in body or spirit as we share the words printed in your order of service in Spanish and English. If you're with us online, you know we'd love to know where in the chat where you are lighting your chalice from. Let us speak the words in Spanish first. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia y el servicio es su ley. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. Thank you.
We would like to share a story with you. This one is called A Friend Like You by Frank Murphy and Charnay Gordon. You'll meet thousands and thousands and thousands of people in your lifetime. Some you will only meet once. Some you'll get to know a little. And you'll get to know some people so well that you'll call them friends.
Some of these friends will become supportive friends, honest friends, generous friends, true friends, forever friends, best friends. Go into the world and make friends. The world needs a friend like you.
Be a curious friend. Asking questions is a good way to start friendships. Listen with an open heart and mind. When you are a better listener, you can ask better questions. Getting to know someone's stories, thoughts, and ideas matters. It shows you care.
Be an accepting friend. Some people you meet will be from places that are far, far away, but most will be from right around the corner. A few will look like you, a few will practically be your opposite. Many will believe what you believe, but even more will not.
Be an open-minded friend. Become friends with all kinds of people. The only way to learn how to get along with people who are different from you is by being with them. Find out things you both like to do and do them together.
Be a flexible friend. You might like to wear high tops while your friend might like to wear flip-flops. A friend might like to snack on sushi, but you prefer pizza. You might stay up all night reading while a friend spends all night watching movies. Try something new with a friend, and no matter what, celebrate each other.
Be a forgiving friend. Your friends will make mistakes. You will too. Everyone makes mistakes. Friends say sorry and move on.
Be a kind friend. Friends share. They share things like toys and games and snacks. But they also share ideas and goals and hopes and dreams. Sharing makes friendships stronger, so share often.
Be a thoughtful friend. When a friend is feeling down, maybe you'll help them up. Or maybe their life is feeling loud, and you can be a quiet space. Whatever you do, being there when they need you is what matters most.
Be an ally. An ally is one of the most powerful things you can be as a friend. It means a friend who can trust to stand up and speak up for them, even when they're not there. A friend and ally will always have your back, and you always have theirs. That is what true friends do.
It doesn't matter if it's a friend you grow up with or a friend you meet when you're all grown up. Play together. Laugh with each other. Dream together. One day you'll notice you weren't just having fun. You were making memories. The memories you make together will last a lifetime. So go out into the world and make friends. Be curious and accepting, forgiving and kind. Be a true friend. The world needs a friend like you.
Children are welcome to go to classes today if you join, or stay in service. Thank you, Liz. We gather here this morning to honor the newest members to join our congregation over the course of its more than 120-year history. We gather as an expression of our mutual quest towards personal and spiritual fulfillment. We gather secure in the knowledge that the truths we seek are not constrained by a single uniformity of belief. We recognize that each is here for reasons known only to the individual heart, and yet we gather in common fellowship to affect and sustain an atmosphere of mutual support. We do not ask that you believe in an unquestioning way that which is espoused by another's conscious convictions, not mine or anybody else's. We ask only that you follow faithfully that which your conscience dictates, mindful that in your searching you will encounter other truths, other convictions, other faiths. Here you will be embraced as a member of a common family of seekers, all those past and present who have dedicated themselves to nurturing action and compassion, sympathetic to a common vision that no one person is an island unto themselves, but that we are all members of a larger family of life. And this congregation is the very place where Jack Mendelson claimed Unitarian Universalism is the place where religion and reason meet, often quoted on Sundays across the nation. We are a place where religion and reason meet.
As membership coordinator, it is my privilege to invite our new members to join me on the chancel. Since our last new member recognition, 6 new members have joined and signed the membership book. Today, we are honoring Marley McCampbell, Rebecca Clevenger, Dave Clevenger, Emily Cook, Dan Waltzler, and Joe Cardwell.
Welcome, welcome. We have gifts for you. Judy is the holder of all of your wonderful gifts, so we will promise to get those to you. Ellen, would you mind actually handing out some of the bags too? Thank you so much. We have food and gifts today. Woot! Aren't you glad you got out of bed this morning? Roses are really important in Unitarian Universalism. We begin by blessing our children with a rose that does not have thorns. And then when they come of age, we gift them a rose with thorns, acknowledging the beauty and the challenges that they will seek in life. And we also gift roses when we welcome our new members.
New members, I invite you to speak after me. As new members, we accept the responsibilities and freedoms associated with membership in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, to pledge to support this religious community with our time, gifts, and substance, and to join the members of All Souls in a common quest for religious and spiritual understanding, and for the common purpose of leading reverent and compassionate lives.
Outstanding.
Good morning. I'm Ellen Mathia. Will the congregation please rise, embody your spirit, and share the congregational affirmation printed in your order of celebration. We bid
We
you
bid you
welcome
welcome as you come with anticipation and joy. We
We
hope that you will find here room to grow and flourish in mind, body, and spirit. We accept you into our community as companions in the spiritual journey. We pledge to rejoice with you in times of happiness, to grieve with you in times of sorrow, and to share with you all the blessings of our free faith. As you cross this spiritual threshold into a deeper life within the congregation and we begin to journey together in a new, intentional way, I invite you to let these words from our Unitarian forebearer, Theodore Parker, serve as a guidepost on your journey. Please remain risen and sing hymn number 1058, Be Ours a Religion, and you all just get to receive.
Be ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its creed all truth, its ritual works of love.
You may return to your seats. Welcome. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. So glad you're here.
Please join me in taking a few moments to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. Of course, enjoy. We've just welcomed all these new members. That's fantastic. We also want to celebrate a joy by thanking the maintenance team for checking on the building during the holidays
Yes.
and shoveling snow and spreading salt. We continue to hold Bev Evans in our hearts and in our prayers. The cards that we have sent her have helped her to feel surrounded by love. She has begun chemo, which is palliative only and not curative. She would love to receive texts and short phone calls, and of course, cards are always welcome. And Kathy Tanner wants to share a big thank you and a group hug for all the support that she's received for the last few challenging weeks. Cards and notes and visits and meals and personal well wishes have lifted her spirits so much, and she says thank you to All Souls. And Petra Ritchie is recovering at Clear Vista, and cards and calls are welcome.
Thank you so much, Austin. We also bring into this space the many joys and sorrows that are within our own hearts, within our own families, our communities, and of course, the larger world. Earlier this week, I was watching a clip with reporter Chris Hayes and learned that across the U.S., a third of rural counties do not have an OBGYN doctor. And in states with abortion bans, that number climbs to 50% of rural counties. Now, of course, we are one of the states that falls into that category, and we have our reproductive health vending machine where we give out free reproductive health products. Please take them and share them in the community. This morning, I was watching the news first thing, and a doctor was on and talking about how there have been some studies, and there's a movement that women can test for cervical cancer at home now because it is so difficult to get testing elsewhere. And while that increases accessibility, which is a good thing, there is always a likelihood with home tests of an increased level of error, and it does not change the fact that we need doctors who can provide real health care, and we need to fund Planned Parenthood. So, yes, increase accessibility, but how about we fund Planned Parenthood too? In the spirit of also bringing in the joys, I have an update on our case with the ACLU because we had a court date, December 2nd, and it went well. We have to file, this is from Ken Falk at the ACLU, we have to file proposed findings within 60 days, and then the court will decide. So sometime maybe in the spring, we'll hear about our case as we continue to fight the near abortion ban in Indiana based on our faith. For those here who have uteruses or love someone whose healthcare rights have been stripped away, I want to offer you a tale of strength from our Unitarian faith to hold in this sacred time. In 1875, after Julia Ward Howe led a women's ministerial conference, 21 female Unitarian ministers in 1875 set out to the plains in the US. And they spread Unitarianism, starting in homes and growing our faith. Now, eventually, men in Boston would force them into early retirement, or some of those who continued to fight went on to be suffragettes and to engage in social justice. But I'm inviting us all to call on the strength of our Unitarian ancestry as we continue in these times. December 1st was World AIDS Day. And I know that for many of us, when World AIDS Day comes, we remember our own losses and our losses within this community. I know some of us live with HIV. And while the marvels of modern medicine have made great strides, we must never forget and never let up on demanding better research, care, and prevention. In this spirit, I offer you this prayer by the Maureen Killerin, and will be followed by a song by our own Jim Gosling. It has been a long struggle, and our work is far from over. As we go forth, may we be empowered by the spirit of hope and healing, whose one name is God and whose other name is love. May the blessings of love be upon us and within us. May love's truth be upon our vision. May love's wisdom dwell within our hearts. May love's persistence inspire our lips. May love's gentleness give comfort to our bodies. May love's gratitude accompany our sleep. May love's healing be a balm for our brokenness. May love's serenity give peace to our weary souls. May love's confidence energize our minds. May love's challenge keep us faithful, faithful in our struggle, faithful in our conviction that love and justice and hope will ultimately prevail. Que así sea. Amen.
If you meet me on the street, my face won't show where I had been. I'll extend my hand to you, and I'll call myself your friend. For every breath of life is for living, for love and forgiving. And I'm very much alive. I'm a long time survivor. If you ask me how I am, you'll never hear me complain. I don't want your sympathy. I won't burden you with pain. For every breath of life is for living, for love and forgiving. And I'm very much alive. I'm a long time survivor. If you look inside your heart, you'll be surprised at what you see. There's a little bit of you that's a little bit like me. Every breath of life is for living, for love and forgiving. And we were very much alive.
I give to you some heartwarming stories of friendship that I found in Reader's Digest. Who remembers Reader's Digest? Tenth time's the charm. After my wife of 44 years died, I didn't feel the urge to socialize, but that didn't stop my friend Tony from inviting me to join a group of men who got together every Thursday for dinner. Told him I wasn't ready. He called the next week and the next and kept calling until finally I said, I'll go. Anything to keep you from calling me every week. It's now been 6 years since my wife died, and thanks to Tony, I've been going to dinner every week with the gang we've dubbed Romeo, retired old men eating out. David in New Jersey. Sick day savior. I came down with a horrible stomach bug when my husband was out of town. My best friend showed up with saltines, Sprite, essential oils, and the best part, her Netflix password. Megan in Texas. From Courtney in Idaho. If she knows I'm having a rough day, my friend will show up and take the kids for the day. By just showing up instead of calling, Stacy knows I can't tell her not to come. A friendly start to the day. Shannon, my best friend of over 26 years, and I text each other every morning with, "Good morning, beautiful," or "Hello, gorgeous." That way, we both start the day with a smile. Katrina in California. When I was 4, my mother had her hands full with 6 children. Luckily, there was our neighbor, Berla. Berla, 48, didn't have children, so I had her full attention. She taught me simple things like how to care for my teeth, as well as big things like a love of long walks. She also taught me to play cribbage, which came with these words of advice. There's a perfect strategy for every hand dealt. That concept has impacted every aspect of my life. Linda in Nevada. I love these heartwarming stories, don't you? Does anyone here have one of those kinds of friends? Yeah. And I also know you are that kind of friend. I know that. It's one of the things I love about this congregation. You know how to show up for each other. It's beautiful. And friendship matters. Friendship and community are essential for health. In June of 2023, Zara Abrams published a piece in an article on the American Psychological Association website about the health benefits associated with friendship. Quoting here. People who have friends and close confidence are more satisfied with their lives, less likely to suffer from depression. They're also less likely to die from all causes, including heart problems and a range of chronic diseases. Science. But do our friendships always have to make us feel warm and fuzzy? Is that the only way we grow? By being nourished? There's different ways to be nourished. Are our friends always in alignment with us? Or are some as tart as radishes? As silly as Brussels sprouts? The Reverend Abi Janamanchi, some of you met him yesterday. He was my senior colleague when I was at Cedar Lane in Maryland. And he once told a story about an unlikely friend he has. Abi was active with a coalition of religious leaders when he was at his congregation in Clearwater, Florida, one of his first congregations that he served as a solo minister. And this justice organization he was a part of worked with a similar format as the Black Church Coalition. Now, time after time, he would find himself on the other side of the picket line from a particularly vocal religious leader of another tradition, and they had completely opposing views. Well, one day, Abi decided to invite this colleague from across the aisle for coffee. And this is also part of what I do as an extension of our ministry. I meet with other religious leaders who have differing views. Now, for Abi and this gentleman, they had some hard conversations with that first cup of coffee. But you know what? They met again and again and again. And they learned early on not to debate each other, but to be with each other. In today's story that Wanja and Austin shared, the invitation was to be a curious friend. In the society that we're living in, where our nervous systems are constantly on high alert, one cannot debate. If you've ever had a conversation or tried to have a conversation with a toddler that was melting down, you know that you cannot debate said toddler. It doesn't matter how old you are. When your nervous system is hijacked, you are still a toddler. We cannot engage our reason in that zone. But curiosity helps us to move past that moment. Now, Abi and this this gentle leader continued their friendship, continued to find where they had shared values, and then they began to talk about the issues, moving from a space of curiosity. This man is now a leader in the justice organization in Clearwater, Florida, that he once was across the aisle from. And while this conversation seems like some sort of liberal preacher dream goal, what really matters is the struggle for staying honest, for building something real that is both soft and challenging, leading from love, and showing up over and over for someone we love, knowing that we don't have to always agree, but we do need to connect our facts and our actions and our values to honestly interrogate if we are in alignment with these things. Why does that matter to us as Unitarian Universalists? Well, beloveds, we are a non-creedal, covenantal, liberal faith tradition. This means that while we do not have a single uniformity of belief, we are the place where religion and reason meet. We must all swear to being true to ourselves in an honest, accountable relationship and ensure that the agreements we make together as religious liberals, I'm not saying politically liberal, I'm saying religiously liberal, we are charged with constantly integrating new information with science, life experience, scripture, etc., and not just our own personal life experience. Theology can only be done in community. So we have to talk to each other and be curious with each other, to learn from each other imperfectly, because we are humans and humans are imperfect. And we must grow our faith in that way. Now, our Universalist ancestors guaranteed salvation for all because they believed in a loving God, and our humanist ancestors remind us that salvation is here in the everyday, and we are charged to save each other. And I believe that our faith saves lives. Someone who came to the memorial service yesterday has been in and out of Unitarian Universalist congregations for 20 years and said this is the first time they've felt at home. They saw our banners outside. They saw some of the things on our walls in the atrium and in our sanctuary and realized that maybe we were just actually doing things a little differently here. And they felt safe. They saw our food pantry and our vending machine and realized that maybe we weren't just talking about the work, but we were trying to find ways to live into it, even if we're not sure what the path ahead is. I ask you, are we allies? Do we show up for each other? Are we fighting for reproductive justice, racial justice, and equity? I say yes, we are. We are struggling and we are trying to find ways to show up authentically. Sometimes that's making the sandwiches. Sometimes it's out on the street in front of the Capitol. Sometimes it is caring for our loved ones because we are a caregiver. There are many, many ways we are building this world that we dream about. And is not democracy woven into the fabric of our faith? Yes. Does our commitment to supporting science and advocating for legislation grounded in facts save lives? Yes. And these are all reasons to have hard conversations this holiday season. I am really present to the ways in which our families and our friendships are fractured right now. Social media is doing its darn best to continue to increase polarizing views. The algorithms are running. And the antidote is community. But we cannot have difficult conversations if someone's nervous system is hijacked. So what do we do? Here's what I know. The people you love, I say this about Indiana all the time and I mean it. The people you love will bring you a casserole and send you a card when something happens in your life. And they are the same people who will vote for legislation that directly harms you or someone you love. The value for community care matters. And if you are in a position where you are able to be with your loved one in a values-based, curious conversation, please don't do these if you are on your last nerve and you've had that one last microaggression that has broken you that day. Don't do it. Go recover. Take care of yourself. Beloveds, I'm not wanting to put you in a place of harm. But if you are having a day where you can have a values-based conversation, be with your loved one in the place of shared values and share some careful facts and do not yield. Continue to meet with love and curiosity. It is many conversations that lead to stronger, deeper, healing relationships. And I believe this is why I left people I loved in a pulpit I loved and colleagues I loved in DC, because I believe that there is something special here in the heartland. There is an openness and a kindness and a warmth that we Unitarian Universalists are uniquely qualified to tap into, to create lasting change that can reverberate. Now, we are sharing week after week the ACLU's conversation guide for the holidays, and it has some facts that you can share in curious, values-based conversations with your family. One fact a meal, one fact a cup of coffee. Beloved, I know that you care about my health. Did you know that a side effect of that bill is da-da-da-da-da? What? When we are curious with each other, when we challenge each other, we are able to work together across the aisle to pressure our legislators to give us more than dang sound bites and give us some gosh darn real legislation that helps us. Right? But beloved, it is not going to come from them. They are in the YouTube machine. It will come from us, and it will come from your holiday tables. So this holiday, lean in to the love in your hearts. Lean in to the love in the hearts of your loved ones, and have the hard conversations again and again and again. Don't agree to disagree. Agree to be curious together. And let's take back control of our bodies, our countries, our lives, and our communities. May it be so. Que así sea. Amen.
Thank you, Rev. Katie. This week, we're sharing our offering plate with UU for Justice in the Middle East. UUJME works to educate and mobilize the UU community to address inequality and injustice in Palestine. including ending military occupation, settler colonialism, and apartheid. This initiative aligns with our shared UU values of justice, which calls for us to stand with communities facing systemic inequality, and our commitment to respecting the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. To contribute, you can give cash, or you can give a check in the collection plate. If you want to give online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org, and then you'll find a link in the top right corner that says donate. Please indicate if your gift is a pledge payment or if it's for Share the Plate, if you're paying online or using a check. Thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another in this world. The morning offering may now be given and gratefully received.
Come, oh, come to the table. Gather round, come without fear. Known by name here at the table, this table. Welcome here to the table of love. Circle round, let's join together. Share your joys and bring your tears. Strength and hope found at the table, this table. Welcome here to the table of love. God is love, love is creating something new right here, right now. We're children of God here at the table, this table. Welcome here to the table of love.
Thank you. That was awesome. As today's story for all ages reminded us, be an ally this holiday because friends are allies. Be a kind friend, friends share. They share things like toys and games and snacks. But they also share ideas and goals and hopes and dreams. Sharing makes friendships stronger, so share often. And as my colleague Abi Janamanchi says, may you be held this holiday season by a love that will not let us go or let us off the hook. May it be so. Amen and blessed be.